Greetings and salutations. Now, they brought out the mini set. Now, the mini set didn't bring out a whole lot of cards that seemed rather good. I mean, you have like Asphyxiodon, 8 mana, 6/10. At the end of your turn, deal 5 damage to a random enemy minion. It's okay. Is it good? No, not really. Summon a random beast from your deck, give it lifesteal. Perfectly fine, but not for 6 mana. Not unless you're playing Spellfire Bonfire. If you're playing this and it makes the other guy cost 3, which allows you to get this guy for 3, and then you get a beast from your deck, and the beast you get is Asphyxiodon, it's really just a terrible way to get lifesteal. But I had this idea, and it's quite an interesting idea. It's a scummy kind of gimmick Warlock deck surrounding the Egg of Kelos. Now, I know what you're thinking. Egg of Kelos, 0/3, you gotta kill it 5 times. Yeah, that's why you have things like Eat the Imp. Draw a card, you're destroying your Kelos. Drain Soul. Doesn't say to an enemy minion, just kill your egg. Health Drink, just kill your egg. But where the fun comes in is when it gets down to the last egg. And it says, when it gets down to this egg and it says, Death Rattle, summon a 2020 Kelos. That's when the fun begins. You take your Kelos egg and make it a 1/1. And this is why there's Ysera in the deck. You Kelos, you have your Kelos out there, you bat mask it, and then you play Hellfire, killing all of your eggs at the same time, giving you a whole board full of 2020s. Now, obviously, there are board clear options like Black Hole, which, now that I've added Black Hole, you could copy all of your Kelos eggs, and of course you're not going to want to kill it, because if they kill your Kelos eggs, what happens? A whole bunch of 2020s. I did have it go off, and I did win with it one time earlier today, and I've kind of tinkered with the deck and made a few adjustments, but it's just fun to play. And the reason why it's fun to play is because it's not the current meta. So there's 2 issues. First off, if I see Quest Paladin or Blood DK, I'm just going to concede. Outside of those, we're good to go. Ooh, Summoner Dark Marrow. That plus Eat the Imp, all I need is the egg. Oh, Domino Effect. Consume. A lot of stuff to help me out. This is also why I added the Egg Bearer, too, because then the Holy Egg Bearer can just get me the egg. Oh. Alright. Quest Shaman, kind of cool. Oh, Fractured Power. And that's kind of why I put Fractured Power in here, is to make sure you have enough mana to pull off that combo later on. Now, between Ysera and the Fractured Powers, I think you can get up to 16 mana, I believe. So it's kind of... It's going to be an interesting play. If I top deck the Egg of Kelos, I'll be extremely happy, because then I can just Eat the Imp. Problem is when you place... You could do Summoner Dark Marrow, or another Eat the Imp. We don't have anything to work with yet. There's Kerrigan. This is some of the issue. There's not a lot of consistency in getting the card you need in your hand. That's why I put in things like the Ultralisk Cavern, and Consume. That helps. Yeah. I don't want to have to deal with it. Taking an additional 4 is not fun. Now, there's a lot of fun to be had with other cards. But the majority of this deck is just control. as you can clearly see. Because you obviously don't want them to have a board. You don't want them to possess a large board. And so the idea is to control your opponent while getting Kelos out there. And this probably isn't going to work very well because of the whole Echelon, and he's going to probably shutter block the Echelon. But we're going to see. He is playing a rather slow deck, so... I'll take that damage, it's fine. What do I got? Demonic Assault's nice. Demonic Assault's really good, because then you can use it to pop your own Kelos Egg, because it just says 3 damage. You can use it as direct burn to the face. Yeah, 3 damage for 4 mana, but it gives you a couple of Voidwalker taunt minions. So it's got its usefulness.
No wear and tear of any kind.
So if I play Kerrigan... Actually, I'd have to play Table Flipped. And then I could do this. I also added Eternal Layover to give me more Kelos Eggs. Here comes the Echelon. Ooh, everything he has is going to have poisonous and elusive. Fun times. Well, there's Bat Maskerson. Wow, can I draw the Egg of Kelos? Apparently not. There's 2 cards in there. And outside of that, it's... You know, I'm not getting it, so... Next turn is probably just going to be me dropping Ysera for the extra mana. That means I almost exclusively have to do it this way. You know what? We're going to do this, 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 and then this. I could play Kerrigan next turn. It'll allow me to clear the board to some degree.
Now Lo had many adventures.
Interesting. Till this happens. I'm going to torch the Egg of Kelos off the top. Really? Went to the face. Interesting. Was not expecting that. Oh, he's gonna get poisonous, and that's the 2 damage. Okay. Alright, that's clever. I'll give it to him. Boy, he's getting a lot of those healing totems. Well, I didn't get that. So let's see. Let's play you. And then play you, then this. Oh, I mean, like, the Kelos egg, it's almost going to be too late for Egg of Kelos now. Because if I start using ETM, I'm going to draw myself out and then I'll die. Well, your spells don't have poisonous there, champ.
Return to the ship at once.
Was he hoping for a Rust Draenei? I hope not. There's also an interesting there's also an interesting Draenei warrior you could do. Well, I win now. Didn't even need the Egg of Kelos. And don't get me wrong, I wanted it. But I think changing a couple things around actually made the deck a little bit better. Then again, Ashelon Shaman is not really that strong. And it's because the adapt is just not worth it. Now, there's a lot of people complaining. Oh, jeez. Well, let me just sit right here. Let me sit right here and wait. Go ahead and play your Dive the Galaka Depths on turn 1. Oh, look, the Egg of Kelos and Galaka Depths. Oh, okay. All right. We can play this one out now. Because he's not Murloc. He's not Murloc Paladin. There's Bat Mask. But I have to save the Hellfire. Actually, no, I could Domino Effect too. Then again, he'll just Equality Consecrate. So that means I have to build enough of a board to be a threat so that he Equality Consecrates both times. Most people investigate that egg because they don't know what it is. They have no idea. Most people don't see it. Because why would they? Nobody plays it. And there's a lot of people out there complaining right now. They're like, oh, the mini set has little to no impact on the metagame. Yes, there's a reason why. Because they're prepping the game to be a slower Hearthstone experience next year. They're just waiting for everything to be done now for it to be that way. You know what? I'm going to Hellfire here. I'm not going to deal with that dragon. Absolutely not. Just constantly giving him 3 life? Nope. I've got enough stuff. Immediately doing Siphon Soul on that. Now I can eat the imp on it. And if I can get this to break 3 more times, I can Bat Mask on 8. So I gotta break it 3 more times by turn 8, and then I can bat mask it on 8 and just swing. It would help if I had the ooze, because then I could just eat one of the 2020s and have a massive amount of health and damage. I can also use this as a board clear on 8 instead of, like, after I bat mask, use the black hole to suck all the minions in there. That does not help, but we'll try it. Another eat the imp. Two more times. Which means next turn I Siphon Soul. And then Bat Mask. I just have to hope he doesn't have Equality Consecrate. Or Bat Mask and then Black Hole. I'm going to domino this. I'm going to start from here and domino that way. Or just bat mask it and leave him as a whole bunch of 1/1s. That way he doesn't want to trade into them, because then they become 2020s. And it prevents him from Equality Consecrating. So if he does 1, or if he cracks 1 or 2, he'll want to kill them because they're on the board. So let's do this. And then break 2 more times, huh? I'm at 8 cards. That goes to 7. So I have to play something. I have to break the egg 1 more time. I don't want to eat the imp. The fractured powers are just at the wrong time right now. So, Siphon Soul. Looks like a Siphon Soul angle. And then bat mask them. Obviously, I can't bat mask him right now. If I did that, there would be a problem, because then he wouldn't have to worry about it. I might have to Siphon Soul that instead. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Definitely gonna have to Siphon Soul that instead. Let's Siphon Soul, eat the imp, then bat mask. Oof. Nice. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't think he's expecting the bat mask. I really don't. Especially considering I can then trigger the... I could trigger the 8 mana, or I could trigger the Ultralisk, chamber, wipe his 1 off the board, pop the other thing, hit him with an 8/8, bat mask, and then start swinging. Because he's gonna want to kill the 8/8. And he knows that if he kills the 1/1s and the whole slew of them, it's just a gaggle of 2020s. So I say, don't tell me he was gonna give it +2/+2. Because that was gonna get really, really weird. You know what? We're doing it. Now you have a 2020, and now you've got a whole barrel full of them you have to deal with. Because he sees it right now. He knows right now that if he plays Consecrate, a quality Consecrate, he has 5/20/20s to deal with. Congratulations. You fell for it. Oh, fell for it again, Award. Well, let's see. Obviously do that. And then do this. And then do this. And then do this. And then because I don't want to deal with your minions. So now he still has to kill a 21-1. Otherwise, he's got nothing. And I mean, I could still play Kerrigan and get value. But this prevents him from a quality Consecrate. Because if he Consecrates right now, he puts himself behind. I can still Kerrigan.
Follow the flutterwings.
Here I come, ready or not.
The fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Oh, that's bad. Now he's got the rush one. He's going to just trade and is going to blow fire at everybody. Then he's just going to quality Consecrate. Yeah, he has to read it. So he has to trade here. Yep. Now comes the Equality Consecrate.
I must move quickly.
That's the game.
That is enough.
Came down to the RNG. If he didn't get the 8-mana rush minion that breathed fire, it put him in a very tough position. And he knows it. I know it. Everybody knows it. But, like, nobody's playing Egg of Kelos. Nobody's playing the Bat Mask. Nobody's playing these cards because they think they're all terrible. And they're not bad. They're just not what everybody wants.
I will protect the Alliance.
I am Rafa, the Supreme Salesman!
Because everybody sits there and everybody wants constant, consistent power curve repeatedly going up and up and up. And you're not going to get that. Because if you constantly get that and you have that power creep and that power curve that just keeps almost like a parabola, where are you going to be in 5 years? You'll have a 1-drop that's a 7/7, and then everybody will have to have 80 life. It'll end up being Yu-Gi-Oh! So every so often they have to punch the reset button and make the game weaker. And in order for them to do that, they have to print cards that seem excessively slow. People don't understand that. You have people like Zeddy that don't understand that. He sits there and is like, well, they're crazy if they're thinking that they want to wait till whatever. Oh, they want to wait till next year. It's not going to work. Says you. I mean, is Blizzard tone deaf? Yeah, they're tone deaf on the mini pet. Nobody wants to spend $150 on a pet. Nobody's going to. There's very few people that actually do.
Blade is suffering.
Are silly. Anybody else won't do it. And so you have this disconnect where you have players that want certain decks to be good,
Oh, the flutter wings.
and then they also want that massive power swing, right? The problem here, in a lot of this game, is the fact that the best time in Hearthstone is when you had combo decks. And you'll have people like Zeddy that'll disagree. Oh, you could just get comboed down on whatever. Yeah, you can. And a lot of people won't like that and they'll disagree with it. Okay, so they disagree. It still doesn't change the fact that it was a better time. You knew what the player was building toward, and you had to find a way to counter it. So they brought out cards to counter it. Now they're not building combo decks anymore, and people are upset by the lack of counter decks, by the lack of combo decks. Now what do you have? You have aggro decks and control decks. We had that way back in the day. You had Control Shaman. I mean, just like a year and a half ago, I had Control Shaman. Like, I had a complete deck built around controlling the opponent. And the whole premise of it was, back in, I keep wanting to call it Thunder Junction, but Thunder Junction is a Magic the Gathering expansion. It was Showdown in the Badlands. Back in Showdown in the Badlands, I had a Control Shaman deck that nobody was playing. It was a Highlander Reno Control Shaman deck, and it was doing very well. But yet, nobody enjoyed playing because they're like, oh, well, you know Reno's going to come out on turn 8. It then became turn 10 because people got upset that was happening. Like, there was no way to make everybody happy all the time. And so, what did Blizzard do? They took it so that you don't have things like Reno. You don't have that inevitability. And then they turn around and they print something like Kel'Thuzad. Not Kel'Thuzad, sorry. Kil'jaeden. Kil'jaeden makes it so you have an endless deck. Yes, you can burn through it, but you have an endless deck.
Starting the operation.
Okay. And that's it. I really don't want to table flip that, but I also didn't want to leave it there. It's just, there are some mistakes that Blizzard's made with Hearthstone. The recent expansions aren't one of them. With the one exception of Murloc Paladin. Murloc Paladin is a mistake. And I will say that until I'm blue in the face and everybody's like, well, Murloc Paladin's not that bad if you get up to insert whatever bracket rank that people are talking about. And it's true, yeah, you get up high enough in the... you get high up enough in certain areas. Yeah, there's no... You don't deal with Murloc Paladin because it's not a problem. Okay. But what about everybody else that has to fight against it? It's god-awful to play against. Nobody enjoys playing against it. It is one of the most unfun play patterns that exists in all of Hearthstone history. But yet, nobody talks about it. Wow. I got nothing. Because you have this entire thing where a lot of the people are just, for lack of a better term, they're upset with the way the game's going, right? And they want things that are fun, they want things that are involving, and they want things that have play and counterplay. People want, oh, there's that board of stuff there. I have to make proper trades, I have to make proper calculations, otherwise I lose. And they want that. They want that sense of agency. But at the same time, you pull them aside and say, but what is it you really want? And they can never elaborate exactly what it is.
The glade is suffering.
Okay. That's a dead card in hand now. And I'm not getting anything. The Kelos isn't coming up, so it's alright. We'll see what happens. But I think Hearthstone's in a fine spot. I think people just need to experiment more with the cards and stop playing it so seriously. Just kind of have this nonchalant attitude and enjoy it. And it's almost like that's a lost art these days. It's like people don't want to have fun. And I don't get that. I got nothing.
The exiled one shall find solace in the storm.
Job done.
I just think that if people took things less serious and started looking at things with a little bit of whimsy, just a smidge of whimsy, and really focused on the fun they could have, they wouldn't have a problem with it. I mean, I'm in silver, right? Like, hold on. Silver bracket. That's where I am. Silver. I'm not burning down the barn. I'm not, breaking the bank on it. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's not like I'm trying to make legend. Because if I really wanted to make legend, I could salvage a whole bunch of stuff, make one of the decks that the pros use, and just spam it till I'm legend. But is it really worth? Like, is it really worth doing? Realistically. I mean, that's not going to do any good because I'm just probably going to torch the egg of Kelos, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm having a blast with this deck. I'm also trying to refine it as I'm playing it. Do I think it has the potential to win regularly? Yeah, I do. I think it really does. I think if people really sat down and thought about things and thought about ways of getting stuff to effectively work the way they wanted to in terms of like gameplay mechanic, they would reach that point of,
Bring guidance.
you know, they would reach that point of this could work if only. And I think if they got to that point and they really contemplated it out, and really thought about it, then yeah. But I mean, I really enjoy the game. Even though it's become what it's become, I still enjoy it. I enjoy it more now than I did 3 years ago. I enjoy it more now than I did 2 years ago. And it's not a very popular opinion. And I think one of the reasons why it's not a very popular opinion is you do have people like Zeddy that sit there and will say, this minion's overpowered. Or they'll say, this minion's crazy, that minion's crazy, etc. And what happens? It doesn't go anywhere because they can't. The reason it doesn't go anywhere is because people, I don't know, people I guess don't really care much about they care more about winning than anything else. And I think if they're not winning, they're upset that they're not winning. And I think that's what the big problems become in modern Hearthstone. Honestly, I think they've sat down and they said, they're all boo-hoo because they're not winning all the time. But when crazy cards get printed and those crazy cards go completely bonkers, they complain about the crazy cards going completely bonkers and what were they thinking? Well, I'm sorry, if I was the company and I'm sitting there, you're giving me mixed signals. You're saying print stronger cards in one hand, and on the other hand, you're saying you've printed too stronger cards, slow it down. Okay, I'm the company. What am I supposed to do?
Let's set the mood.
So I print stronger cards, and then I turn around and I print weaker cards, and nobody's happy.
Elune, bring guidance.
That's a little suspicious, isn't it?
Finally, I can rest in peace.
I don't have enough time to break them all, so it is what it is. I've already lost. I've got 2 cards left in the deck. He's obviously going to kill this. I've got nothing left, so. Normally, I don't align with Blizzard, because like I said, I played World of Warcraft for 20 years till I retired, and when I retired, I never looked back. I was like, you know what? It's done. It's over with. Fine and dandy. And looking back on it, I don't regret retiring. Not one iota. Yeah, that just cracked him even more, buddy. Oh, cool. I mean, I'm not gonna survive. Best I could do is probably get it down to 1, but he could just light bomb it. He'll just discover a light bomb and then blow it up. So it's whatever.
Who needs healing? I have healing.
Oof. Oof. That's rough. Might actually pull out the W. Hold on. Hold up. I could bat mask into bones. This might work. Give it a second. Hold on. See the smile? See the smile? This is what I like. This right here is the part I live for. Watching a deck concept come to fruition. I don't care if I win or lose. If the concept works,
Elune, bring
big
guidance.
smile on my face. Massive smile on my face.
The exiled ones shall find solace in the stars.
Ooh. Close.
Not too quickly.
Ooh. That was fun. That was some fun. That was some fun to end on. I like it. That was good time. Yeah. Can you see? Right there? You can kind of tell that I've hatched the egg of Kelos a few times. That was just today. Yeah. Like I said, I've been trying to get that deck to a finesse. It's not there yet. It is not there yet. But I would love to see it. There's some people were saying, Kelos DK was something, and I'm considering looking at that. I don't know yet. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's got to be a way to get that egg out there and have it be a gimmick. I did manage, by the way. I opened Neri the Creator. Not Neri the Creator, Neri of the Creator, and I managed to craft Grifta. So now I have my Neri deck, which the whole premise of the deck is get a whole bunch of 1-cost spells in hand, like Arcane Shot, using Ragnari Scout, and Niall to discover things like Arcane Shot, getting tracking to discover things like Arcane Shot and stuff like that. Some spell damage for reasons for Arcane Shot. The Mixologists, potions are 1 mana. Grifta's amulets are 1 mana, so if you get the 6 damage for 1 mana, you get the Grifter amulet. And because it's a discover, if you have a Ragnari out, you get 2 Grifta amulets. And then, of course, Neri of the Crater double casts. So that's kind of the whole premise. The whole premise is to just get a whole bunch of 1-cost spells in your hand, like the Rock, that kind of thing. Barrack Codomane's there to draw spells. Brawl Bear Mantle is kind of there, that if you have this all at like a higher mana, like 10 mana or whatever, I should probably run Ysera in here so that I can push the deck over 10 mana. Because if you do Brawl in Neri, you don't have a lot of wiggle room with the rest of the spells. So I'll drop Thalnos for Ysera. And I don't think people are gonna. I think people are gonna kind of get thrown off by that. Ysera's gonna kind of be the red herring. But yeah, I have a Neri deck that I'm gonna try, and I had another deck that's trying to capitalize off of using armor on a warrior and using the new warrior card. I don't know if you've seen it. Let me show you that real quick. The actual warrior card. It didn't work in my testing, so I'm kind of trying to get there. And the card I'm looking for is a 3-mana card, not a 4-mana. Whenever you gain armor, 2/2, and attack a random enemy minion. Now, yes, it says random enemy minion, but if there's no minions on the board, you still get the 2/2 whenever you gain armor. This is kind of huge when you start adding in things like Cargo Guard. Turn 6 comes around and there's nothing on the board. You have Cargo Guard, Barricade Basher. It's now a 3-mana 6/5. And then the next turn, you just grab a whole bunch of armor, and you can even run Hook Fist. After your hero attacks, draw a card, gain armor with Axe of the Forefathers, does damage to everybody. You can kind of see where this is going. It kind of snowballs into generating a whole bunch of armor, putting a lot of attack and defense on Barricade Basher. I think there's something there that can be worked with, and people could work with it and really come up with something ingenious. The other one I'm going to try is a Draenei deck, which sounds weird, but I think you might like it, so I'll get back to you on that one. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a great time. Even though I went 2-2, hey, that's the way the Kelos crumbles, right? And I kind of like it. I think it's fun. I think these cards are extremely fun. The concept, the idea, I think is extremely fun. Something that attacks when you generate armor is a great idea. Things like that. Because if you look at the new cards, right? Guard Duty. Random 6, 4, and 2 cost taunt minion. You're getting 3 taunt minions for 7 mana. It's expensive, yeah, but kind of fills in that niche where if you need that extra protecting, that extra protective ability, you need that a little extra protection. It's great. You get this 7-mana card. My NVIDIA broadcast actually cut out there for a second. My apologies. Of course, I'm going to leave that in because unedited. But let's say you're playing the Gates of Latorvius there, where you have to survive 10 turns. It comes into play there. Now, what I think is a blind spot, again, where people aren't watching, the Great Dracorex. Now, mind you, I spent 2,000 gold, and I bought the entire mini set for 2,000 gold. So I have every single card from the mini set. Where the blind spot comes in with the Great Dracorex is where'd it go? Right there. Egg Basher, as well as Sanguine Depths. You play a 5/12 rush whenever it attacks. It does its damage to all enemies. That makes it a 7 attack for 1 damage, so it's a 7/11. At Egg Basher, it's an 11/10. That is almost an entire board wipe on every single card that exists. I mean, outside of Ultra Gigasaur and maybe the Whale. The Beached Whale and Ultra Gigasaur, it is a guaranteed... Oh, sorry. The Tar Tyrant and Meadow Strike. Those are the only 2 that will actually survive. Because Ysera won't really survive. Especially if you trade into Ysera. Trade into Ysera, it's dead. Trade into the Sleepy Dragon, it's dead. That's about the only thing that'll survive. It's the Ultra Gigasaur. And even then, it won't survive by much. But it's one of those things that should be considered, in all honesty. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a great time. I think that deck was a lot of fun. I'm gonna build a Draenei deck, and I hope that you can see it when it's finished, because I got a concept idea for it, and I'm gonna see if I can do it. But I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching. I hope everybody has a fantastic evening, a wonderful tomorrow, and as always, have a good one. Don't listen to the haters on Hearthstone. It's not bad.